trying to get to somewhere without hustle, determination, ambition, and sacrifice. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. You're gonna have to sacrifice. I'm gonna be teaching startup entrepreneurs everything. You gotta get up early and stay up late. Read, write, study. I'm just a hustler that has a lot of wisdom to share over 16 years of entrepreneurship. I'm back at it, baby. My job is to create something for the people. Even though the people may relate in the beginning to the vernacular, the dialect, or the examples even. I have a proven track record that I have overcome those problems. So that's what I can provide. I can help people get ahead of the curve, get ahead of those problems.
Different from vision. Mission was our purpose. Why we went to business, why we going. I help failing small business entrepreneurs say their business and life from failure. My vision is to make so much money by so many dates. I'm gonna do so many shows, sell so many books. Has nothing to do with my purpose. My purpose is I help failing small business entrepreneurs on Periscope, on Glide, on the phone, on the email, in person. That's what I do.
Yeah, crank me up a little bit.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Happy New Year's Eve to everybody out there that is watching. It is going down. 2020 is almost over. We got a few more hours, and we'll be in 2021. Now, for some people, that's like an ecstatic thing. They're waiting for it. They're ready for it. I'm going to let that keep playing in the background because I'm just in a good mood, drinking a Red Bull, having a glass of water, and everything is fine. So today we're going to be talking about a few things, but we got to get the bills out the way. So let me put the topic on the screen. 8 business lessons I have learned in 2020. Now, some of this I already knew, but it was solidified. It was, made whole. It was solid. It became congruent as I was going through 2020. So like you, I have had the ups and the downs in entrepreneurship as well, because 2020 wasn't kind to most of us that were doing our independent thing. So let's get the bills out the way. Now today we're going to do these shameless plugs. Visit cocreatedigital.com, I'm about to say .com, cocreatedigital.co. That is where you can find our ebooks. We have Got Clientele. We also have Got Hustle. Those are great books if you run a brick and mortar business, or if you are just starting out in business. It'll give you a lot of insight on entrepreneurship. I think I wrote Got Clientele maybe in 2011, 2012, and we revise it once a year just to make sure it's still current and relevant. We also have Got Hustle. I think that was written maybe like 2013, 2014 or something like that. And we revised that one again just to make sure it is current. But the latest book that I wrote 2018, we revised that one for the 2020 sessions. It is called Got Schemes. That one probably is my pride and joy. I talk about digital entrepreneurship. I talk about the future of hustling. I talk about minorities. I talk about tech startups. I talk about a lot of different things that we usually don't talk about in a small business community or the new startup space or new entrepreneurship space, because there's a lot of wisdom that people are using to better their businesses or to run their nonprofits or to get rich, whatever you want to say. But the information is in there. Get it. It is on sale right now for 20 bones. You can get it at cocreatedigital.co. I do not think that you will be upset with that read. It's probably about maybe 45, 50 pages. And I think it's action-packed. It'll open up your mind so that way you will be able to profit, run a strong and solid business in 2021. Now, I'm Cash Parrish. I started out in entrepreneurship back in 1996 when I took my first business class in high school. So I am in the game 25 years now. So I definitely been through the ups, the downs, the profits, the losses, the break-ins, the hurricanes, the recessions, the droughts, the pandemics now. I've been through it all in entrepreneurship. I don't think I have had a job working for somebody else since 2005, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just saying that to say I do have a lot of experience in small business, tech, nonprofits, whatever you want to talk about. My day is spent helping entrepreneurs better their business through content creation. I own a business called Co-Create Content Creation Studio. I also am transitioning online to Co-Create Digital, which is the new website. So that is what I'm talking about in the first topic when I get to the topic today. So I hope that you have enjoyed 2020. And if you didn't, let's flush it down the tube. Let's talk about what we learned and how we're going to make it better moving into 2021. So the first thing I got to say, the pivot is real. Now, if you have never heard of a pivot in business, that means when you are turning away from one way and going a different way. When you decide you might, look, it may not even just be the way that you are producing business or conducting business. It may be a pivot away from a whole industry, product, service, business model, or whatever. And that's what I want to talk about. Do not hesitate because you had a bad 2020. If you see your business model has eroded as a result of the pandemic or maybe a change in markets. If you like, for instance, there's I'm gonna just tell you about some people I know, different industries and things, like in the mink industry. That is the animal, the mink, where people buy mink coats and furs and things like that. That business model was already eroding as a result of the people that walk out and say, hey, look, animal cruelty is wrong. We want you to wear regular cotton and stuff like that. Don't kill animals for furs and things of that nature. So there are industries like that was already in trouble. But now with the pandemic, with the animals catching the coronavirus, putting to death or euthanizing millions and millions of minks has totally destroyed their industry, right? So that can be something where you see that the business model has to change. You may have to progress from minks into something else. Somebody say, what, rabbits? I don't know. Might be rabbits. It might be minks that you want to stick with because it becomes a scarcity. Who knows? But the business model may change. Now, cash, you talk fast, you talk a lot. What is a business model? Well, I think I covered that in a broadcast. One of the broadcasts I had, I think I talked about it in the purpose of Yahweh, or the purpose of business and how it fits the pattern. I talked about that, but I'll recover it. When you have a business model is a structure, a pattern, something that you can make over and over again. Like you have a model airplane of a small airplane and you produce it at scale at a massive size by looking at the small model. This is what the car will look like when it comes off the assembly line. This is what the plane will look like when it comes off the assembly line. So a business model this is what the business will look like on paper, but in actuality, these are the key components that will run the business. And it's 9 key components. Now, there's subcomponents and all of these things inside of it, but the first and most important part is the customer segment. Now, there's another part I want to talk about that I want to highlight, but I'm going to run through this because this is not the focus of my broadcast. The first thing that I learned, look, the pivot is real, and change your business model if you have to. The first part of your business model is customer segmentation. Now, the customer means that's the people who buy the product or the service from you. The segmentation means you understood that there was a market size and you went inside the market and you segmented or you cut out a small piece. Just because people play video games don't mean that they play Fortnite or Mortal Kombat. You have to say, I'm making this product or this service strictly for the people who play Mortal Kombat. That's a segment of the video game market. So you customer segment it. And that's a vague definition, but that'll give you an example of segmenting a market and breaking it into a smaller market. Now, there's probably sub-segments inside of that Mortal Kombat market, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of what a segment is. So when you have a segment, you break that down and you segment a small piece of the giant size market, something you could work with. It's almost like the old saying goes, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You can't eat the whole market, so you have to dominate Mortal Kombat market, Fortnite market, Roblox market. You have to keep on going until you conquer every last market that you want, that you segmented out. So you start with a segment. The second one is revenue streams. The third one is going to be the customer relationships. The fourth one is distribution channels. The fifth one is the one I want to talk about, value proposition, because you hear everybody on the internet talk about my brand and the value and its value. Value is not what you think it is. Value is not what you say it is. Value is what the customer believes that they receive from the particular product or service. So let's get that on the table. Let's get that to the top of what we talk about value. Value is not me thinking I'm so intelligent that I deserve to speak and because I have value. value. Value is when somebody get off the broadcast. Value is after they finish watching the video that they say, Cash, I got it. I understand now. I can do X better now. I can do X faster now. I can do X cheaper now. I can boom, boom, boom. That opened my mind up. I'm motivated now. I'm energized now. That's value. Value have to be what the consumer believes it is. So our goal is to create something that we believe that they're missing or wanting, that they need. So we say, hey, look, I know how to motivate somebody. I know how to encourage people. I know how to inspire people. Now I got to bottle it up and make it a way where I can present it to a small test group and they can agree with me to say, hey, you know, that's valuable. I like that. I would pay for that. That is something that you motivated me and you got the exact results that you set out to get, because I'm the consumer and I agree that that's what that product does. So that's value. So the key, also you need key partnerships, key activities, key resources, and last but not least, cost structure. I named 9 things. Let me go through them right quick again. Customer segment, revenue streams, customer relationships, distribution channels, value proposition, key partners, key activities, key resources, and cost structure. Those 9 things make up a business model. So when somebody is telling you about, well, what about your business model? Well, my business model is this. They should know those 9 things, or at least have an understanding of how it works all together to formulate a business. A model together, all working in sync, creates the business. So that is the business, because that's the business model, and the business is modeled after the model, right? So moving on to and so that's the first thing I'm saying, because I'm trying to hit them in a bullet point fashion. The pivot is real. If you have to make a decision to make a new business or go a different direction, the pandemic or any of these circumstances may have changed. The profits may have lowered because the cost to ship, the cost to purchase, the cost to buy items, supplies, whatever may have increased. You may have to make a pivot. You may have to change directions. It's real. It happens to everybody all the time. Pre-pandemic, pandemic, or post-pandemic, it will still be going on. So if you see that you need to make a pivot, don't hesitate to make an intelligent decision to save your business or to even start a different and diverse business, because some of these companies, and I don't have time to really go into that, some of these companies, they actually have not ended where they started. They may have, I'm just going to give a crazy example, they may have started in cell phones and then they wind up concluding with cashews or something. You'd be like, how they got from there to there? Because they found something that works, that the market needed, that the market was looking for, and they pivoted and made a different direction and built a better company, right? So number 2, never put your wealth before your health. That is important. If your business, like this business, is a business where the people will be confined into one space, breathing and talking and spreading a virus, or you could come into contact with a virus, do not put your wealth before your health. Cash, I gotta eat. I gotta make money. I ain't about to lose my business. But if you lose your life, what's the sense in having a business that's more than likely, if you had to go there to work the business, then more than likely it's not a business, it's a job. And when you die, it dies. So you always want to keep in mind customer safety, staff safety, your safety. If it requires you to take a L, take the L. Because there's no joy, there's no pride in telling the story of my partner who used to be. We know people who died from this pandemic. I could list a slew of people I know who have passed away. And what you had in the beginning, who you was, and all that don't matter when nobody's at your funeral, because it has to be streamed online and you dead and gone, your business is gone. And guess what? The customers will move on. They will find somebody else. Your wealth or the money or those things are not worth scheming and scamming and putting yourself in harm's way to try to make a dollar. If the business cannot be done correctly, if you cannot sustain that business without putting yourself under the threat of what's the word I want to say? You put yourself under the threat of coming in contact with a commutable virus, then you do not want to do that, because you still need to think about the safety of not only yourself, but of your loved ones. How will you make it home if nurses and doctors are going home and sleeping in trailers and staying outside because they don't know if they could have came in contact with the virus? How can you and I be so sure, Cash? Well, I ain't gonna let nobody scare me. I ain't gonna do that. Do what you want. But this is transparency. I usually don't talk about myself. I had coronavirus back in March, and the top of the sessions, before there was even 30,000 people who died. But I think it was probably before 15,000 people died. It was probably when it was 10 or 100 or less than 1,000. That's when I had it. It's horrible. It was horrible. You can't breathe. You can't sleep. You can't eat. You're sick. Look, I know other people who had it didn't have it as bad as I had it. But I had it to the magnitude. I had it where my oxygen was so low, they was like, if it drops to this, we're going to have to admit you and give you a tube. But we don't want to give you a tube. You see? And that doesn't have nothing to do with, oh, you're out of shape, you're overweight. Look, the virus is not man-made, it's God-made, if I can say it that way. And it's up to his discretion how bad you will have it and if you will recover from it. But what I do urge you is to test them and understand that the virus is real. And if you can protect yourself, protect yourself. I caught it at a time where we didn't even understand what it was. I said, but I understood the pain and the suffering of it, and I would not trade those days for a bag of money. I wouldn't say, give me that money and I'll take that risk. I won't do it. Now, if that means I got to be all hands off, all digital, that's just what it is, because it's just not important to me to suffer in that way and risk my health for my wealth. And I said, now that's just that. You could get a new business, but you can never get a new family and a new life. So always focus on doing what you got to do for your health, mental health and physical health, because people don't talk about the ongoing problems that you're never going to forget this experience of being in contact with that. When you're down on your knees, you can't breathe, and you're grasping onto the edge of life. You're going to remember that. This is going to teach you a lesson about life, and you're going to have to be content with whatever condition you are in. But one thing you know is at the end of the day, nobody's checking to see, hey, you about to die? Was you a business owner? That doesn't matter, So I'm telling you that to say, make sure that you understand what you're putting yourself into and who you're putting in at risk, because there are plenty of people who opened their business, running their business, brought that virus home and killed their family members. And now they have to live with these conditions that they put themselves in. Now, moving on to number 3. Number 3, be innovative. Innovative is being receptive to new ideas and new methods of doing business. If you are doing business in a way that was pre-pandemic, where you can move freely and customers can shop this, hey, now you may have to wear the mask, the gloves, spray things down, wipe things down, come out to curbside delivery, whatever you have to do to innovate your business so your business could be sustainable. Because the rent man still gonna want their money, and the state still gonna want their taxes, and everybody's still gonna want what you owe them, but you need to make sure you don't become a super spreader or a hot zone. And innovation is finding a way to make a living, to make money, but doing things differently in a more advanced way or a better way. So I'm saying that to say you want to be innovative and try new methods during this pandemic and COVID. Again, if it doesn't put your health at risk. If it puts your health at risk, maybe you want to, hey, that business model is done. I'm going to have to come up with something new. Something else the people need. Something else I could get a lick from, or something else that could put me on my feet. Now, don't look forward to going back. A lot of people tell me that, Cash, I'm looking forward to when this is over. They call me, hey, man, when this is over, I'm going to do this. Look, I'm saying even when the pandemic is over, business won't be the exact same. There's so much technology that has come out. There's so much innovation that has come out, people will not bring back every last employee that was working for them back to an office, paying rent and overhead and having less productivity. People will not bring their businesses back. The brick and mortar stores, retail was closing before the pandemic. So now that the pandemic has come, people are enlightened to there's other ways to make money. They was forced to do it. They didn't do it out of choice. They did it out of desperation, out of necessity, and that brought about innovation. So if you're sitting here with the mindset of when this is over, I'm about to do business like I was doing it pre-pandemic, that's a bad way to look at entrepreneurship. That's not entrepreneurship. That's hustling. And we talked about that. That's hustling backwards. Keep in mind that the world is steadily growing and moving forward. It's not standing still. Business, I always say business is fluid, not static. So as it's moving forward, as the world is progressing, things going to change. You may not bear witness to the change because you're going through it slowly. But when you reflect back on 2018 and then you see 2022, you're going to be like, whoa. All of that happened? Yeah, those changes were made. If you live to see it, you'll be able to see it in vivid color. I talked about how I got into entrepreneurship in 1996. There was no Google when I started out here. There was no Bing, no Facebook, no MySpace. There wasn't. It was just Yahoo. I don't even think Yahoo Instant Messenger was out. When I was out here, it was the Yellow Pages, the phone book. You had to get busy and flip the pages and put your finger down and that's the place I want. I'm gonna call them. Yeah, it was different. It was a different ball game. So I'm saying innovation, it will happen, and it will happen all the time with or without you. So make sure that you are being innovative because change is here and disruption is here to stay. Now, somebody said, well, what's disruption? Disruption is changing the way things was once done. Not necessarily that your particular industry have changed, but the people you are in business, because we talked about a business model, and that's why sometimes I have to draw things out, and I wish I could draw it for you. But a business model, sometimes innovation may have happened at your suppliers or your distribution chain or something like that may have changed that forces you to tweak your business because of the people you in business with. And that is critical for you to understand that it is all about staying innovative to keep your business moving forward. So, number 4, embrace digital business. A lot of people, since there was a service-based business, they want to continue to be a service-based business, and that could be cool. You could probably still be a service-based business, but you may have to embrace a hybrid model, a mobile model. Okay, well, I was doing massages. Now I do mobile massages, and I use mobile apps to book my services and things of that nature. I'm embracing digital business. I'm also selling, information on what to do after your massage, how to take care of your body after you receive a massage, or what ointments and creams and lotions and skincare you can use in conjunction with muscle relaxing or whatever the case may be. You may have to go to a digital model where you're selling information in conjunction with your service, where you're selling a different type of service or a different type of product that can be all digital, e-commerce, websites, having things like that. Because again, if you are dealing in hand-to-hand connections, face-to-face meetups, you're putting yourself at a higher risk of contracting the virus. And some people just not with it right now. Some people decide, I'm gonna stay home. I'm not getting my hair done. I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna learn myself. I'm gonna learn how to do this myself. All my care, I'm gonna do it myself. Some people are at that point. So maybe you can go into information. Maybe you could go into a different type of product that they can use to get the same results. Maybe you could sell the tools to get the job done. If it requires a certain type of curling iron, a certain type of just any industry, something that they can utilize, that they can buy and be a do-it-yourselfer. But I'm saying that to say, so embrace digital business. That's number 4. Number 5 was digital partnerships. Now, digital partnerships could be things like DoorDash or Grubhub or Fiverr or Uber Eats. Now, the reason why you want digital partnerships, because sometimes you may have the ability to sell the product or the service, but you don't have the infrastructure to deliver it or to get it out there. You can cook, but you can't cook and deliver. So you may have to open up some kind of mobile service that people can come and get it from your spot and boom, deliver it to the next spot. You want to have digital partnerships or partnerships, like I said, with Fiverr. You can cook, you can have a team of people already working for you delivering, but you cannot shoot all the pictures, edit the videos, and put out the best content to market the business during the pandemic, which you need to keep the employees employed. So you may need digital partnerships. So you want a partnership with somebody else that can do things digitally. And I'm expressing that because we're going into 2021. If we still thinking with the 2019 methods, man, we in for a journey. You know, we have to be conscious that they do not expect this pandemic to be over. This pandemic will be lasting at least through the summertime before they feel like most people can start getting the vaccination around I think they say spring or early summer. So hypothetically, you're probably going to be in a pandemic until at least if we are alive to see it, probably sometime I would say in the fall to the early next year's season, 2022. So with that mindset, even if it don't happen, but with that mindset, we're prepared and we're ready for whatever. So that's what we're trying to get ready for. That's what the broadcast is about. How they say, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So digital marketing is no longer an option. That is a necessity. Now, the key ingredients to digital marketing is you can take one component and be successful, but all three of them together will probably dominate a market or industry or a segment and really, really make an impact. The first is search engine optimization. I've been practicing that for many years, doing that for many years, understanding how to do that on small businesses, and that's where it's really effective. Globally, it takes a lot of money to compete in a large market with search engine optimization on certain keyword terms. But search engine optimization, for those that may not know, that is where when you type into Google, you type in what you want to understand or learn or research about or find out about, and then a population come up of a variety of choices. Well, those variety of choices had to go on their websites, their blog sites, their video sites, and type in relatable terminologies and verbiage to be able to be seen by Google, so Google could see what they have on their site and what you're searching for and bring you two together. So that is search engine optimization, optimizing your particular video, blog, or image to be found by Google or any search engines for that fact. So that's search engine optimization. Advertisement now is the next one. Advertisement that's where I lay my hat on search engine optimization and advertisement. Advertisement, because we're dealing with data, we're dealing with analytics, we're dealing with targeting, we're dealing with segmenting. The reason why I started Co-Create Content Creation Studio, not because it's about creating content for me. What it was about is collective people working together to create the best content for the best markets, for the best segments, for the best channels, for the best funnels. So it's a lot of for the best. And when you start to break it down to that point, we can micro target the smallest group of people with a message that was customized just for their personality type. And that can lead to high conversions. There should not be a one commercial fits all, is what I understood. One commercial won't fit all. When you're turning on one group of people, you're turning off another group of people. So I'm saying that to say those content types that you make, if you understand within that segment is a variety of segments, then you create persona 1, persona 2, persona 3. You create a commercial for 1, 2, and 3, or a creative work. It don't have to be a commercial. It can be some kind of ad or something or whatever, an infomercial, whatever you want to call it, for all three segments. That's 3 pieces of content slated across a sales funnel that starts at awareness and ends at referral and repeat, right? And you're creating all of these creatives simultaneously to target these people on whatever step they're on. And you're testing those things. Cat said, what are you talking about? I'm telling you, that's part of advertisement, to see what works or what doesn't work and how it works and when it works and how you make it convert, right? And you're creating that with data-driven marketing and statistics and analytics. So advertisement is the best to me. More bang for your buck when it's coupled with search engine optimization. Now, social media. What you got to think about, because people always trying to win on social media for free. Social media is a platform where you can get your voice out for free. So on social media, if it's free, it's more competition. So you're spending more time to create to stay visible. But depending on what your business is, you may need that time to go and work in the business, work on the business, preferably working on the business and not in the business. So I would recommend that you find a balance between organic search engine optimization and social media and power it with advertisement. So digital marketing, number 6, digital marketing is no longer an option. It's a necessity in this climate and times for whatever rest of your business life it has. That's what my recommendations 2021 and beyond. Now, last 2. We're down to the final 2, Cash P. We're going to get it back cracking, turn it up for a second. So watch who you build. Now, these are important to me. These are important to me because these are some lessons I learned in 2020, some things that I saw that I knew, but still running a brick and mortar business, a storefront type of business where people can walk in and get a service. It's harder to stay true to these values when it's not your everyday life. Your everyday life is a blend, a hybrid between digital and offline and online commerce, right? Now, watch who you build with, who you decide to help. Don't entertain people, and I Cash, where this is coming from, I'm telling you, because they have a lot of people that may be ungrateful. In the time of a pandemic, you extending a hand to someone to say, hey, look, if you need me, I'm there for you. I got you. But some people are opportunists. Some people are there for the benefit and the betterment of their own self. Some people have no care about what you have going on. It's a take relationship. And look, let me say this too. I'm going to be frank. When you are a female and you're reaching out to a male, most of us are not dumb, ignorant, or stupid. Because you have looks, a body, some kind of beauty does not mean that we are all thirsty for you. When you make a decision to talk to somebody like myself about business, your body has nothing to do with what we're trying to do. Let me tell you why I can express that. I worked in the tattoo and body piercing industry for 14 years. I've seen every body part from the tip top to the feet, and it moves nothing but the money. The bag moves. No, ma'am. I got to be professional. We carry ourselves like this. So you coming up, I was talking with somebody the other day. They was like, say, you used to pierce what? Yeah, I pierced the tops and the bottoms. You feel me? I done been up and down the human body, the anatomy of white, black, Asian, Filipino, Puerto Rican, Mexican, all of them. I done the butt cheek tats and the titty tats and everything else. I say, look, bruh, it's nothing to see the flesh. And I'm not inspired or motivated by that. So when you come to a person and asking that individual to do something for you, your body and your beauty does not move a hustler. A real one, at least, somebody who getting it in has no desire for all that other stuff. If I extend the hand and say, I'll help you, I'm helping you on the strength of I like to help, and this is something I'm going to do for you specific. Now, the means by which I give it to you or do is up to me. That's my choice. If you don't like how the package is being packaged and presented to you, given to you, you have the right to walk away. But being selfish and do not look. Some people are only about what they can gain and what they can get from you, a user. And look, I'm not going in on a particular person or a particular woman, but I know a lot of times my business that I deal with, I dealt in the tattoo industry for many years in the past, right? I left that industry in 2014 totally, closed it up, was done after dealing with it for over a decade. Many of them will come to see what they can get thinking that they can barter with looks and a wink and a smile. Nah, boo, the price $250. break the check off. If I do decide to do something, I did it because I want to, not because you batted an eye or winked at me, or that don't work. You can hang that up. That's done. Now, I'm saying that to say because selfish intentions are seen. You're not a ninja. You're not invisible. So I'm saying, number 7, watch who you do business with, because some people selfish, some people opportunists, and some people feel entitled. They feel entitled because they in your DMs are talking to you that you owe them something. You don't owe anybody anything. Don't let people rock with you that break their word. Look, man, Cash, I'm going to rock with you. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. Then when it comes down, you do your part. Then when it's time for their part, they get ghosts and then hit you up a few weeks, months later. And hey, man, I'm checking in. What about this? No. You're a word breaker. You don't have no word. Your word ain't bond around here. You're not good. And under whatever conditions you want to say you could break your word, you can't. Not when we hustling, not when we doing something together, not when somebody else come to the table with their end of the bargain. So if you have opportunists around you, selfishness around you, entitled people around you, word breakers around you, watch them. Don't do business with them. Don't hustle with them. Don't be around them. I say because they come a dime a dozen. Those that say, can I take you for coffee so I can pick your brain? My brain costs $300 an hour. Look on the website. My half an hour is $150. That's what it costs. Otherwise, I don't pick up the phone. So if I did pick up the phone and did something for the love, it's because I chose to. Never let somebody devalue your work because let me say it like this. Never let them devalue your work because you have goodness in your heart to help people. Don't let the people you help and devalue your work. Your work is still work what is work. I'm not saying don't help people. I'm telling you that if you have a helping heart, if you have a helping spirit, don't let them devalue your value because you gave it to them. It's still work what is work. Now, most time when they don't pay for something, they don't treat it like anything. It is better to charge people what it's worth because they will not all the time, but sometimes they actually might implement what you said. Because they pay top dollar for it. They usually don't like to pay for stuff that they can't use. People call me time and time again, not to get the answer to the problem. They call me time and time again so they can vent about their issues going on in their business, in their company, and they pay me for that. And I'm like, I'm not a therapist. I'm a strategist. I'm an architect. I help you build businesses. I help you solve problems, leadership, management. I deal with corporations at times. I talk to people who are in real leadership at real corporations at times. But some of y'all just calling and complaining about the people you work with and spending money, So I'm saying that to say, look, I take all them checks, though. But for the most part, I'm trying to say this. Don't let people devalue you because you decide to help them. It's still worth what you charge for it, even if you decide to show love. But it's 2021. Limit the love. Get it on down to the point where you can say, hey, look, I'm going to do this to a certain level in a certain magnitude. And God damn it, do it how you want to do it. Don't let nobody box you into a time, a location, a place, something, a guarantee that you got to fulfill it the way they want. If they got their hand out begging for something, you should allow that person to give it to you how they want to give it to you. And if you don't want to receive it how they want to give it to you, then damn you. You don't deserve nothing. I can't stand somebody got their hand out bagging and then, hey, man, can I have $1 to get me something to eat? Well, here's a hamburger. I don't want no hamburger. Well, what? Get my hamburger back. Starve then. That's what it's like. And that's what it is. And if you don't like it, you just don't like it. But we're not going to package it a different way to satisfy a person who wants something for free. The person who wants something for free should be getting it and getting it and be thankful however they get it, however you offer it. That's what they should be. But it is these people who are entitled, high-minded, believe they got beauty, believe they got body, believe they got swag or finesse, and believing that they can talk to you crazy and ask for something and demand how you give it to them. We're not doing that 2020, 2021, and beyond. It's over. Now, I got to move to another note on that. Number 8, the last one is don't build the business alone. Cash, well, you just shoot out everybody else. No, I'm saying, look, if you're building a business, being a solo entrepreneur, if that's what you are at this time, does not mean you should be an isolated entrepreneur. Make sure you have great minds to bounce things off a soundboard. You don't want to be in an echo chamber. An echo chamber is where you only hear your voice coming back to you. You'll become to believe you're the smartest person because you're the only person. You'll become to believe that everything is right because you're the only one with ideas. So you do not want to be in an echo chamber. You want to be a soundboard and have other people there that you can bounce things off. No, they don't have to be in your company or work for you, but you need to be around people. Don't try to share your ideas with people who are not into business. Don't try to share your ideas with people you don't think are brilliant. Don't try to share your ideas with friends and family and those folks. Build yourself a community of people or people, accountability partners, people you could talk to, people you could call for inspiration and be inspired by, people that you could call and get some information or some credibility or some value or some experience from. That's what you want to do. So don't build your business alone. Now, the reason why I'm saying that, because it is 2021 and tomorrow I will be dropping my first episode on the new app, Clubhouse app. We're going to be having Coffee Grinds. That's going to be my morning show. Cash Parrish, Cash and Coffee on the Coffee Grind Show is what we're going to be focused on, dealing with digital professionals, entrepreneurs, content creators, and marketers. And we're going to be talking all things business development, talking how to talk, getting it in, how we get it in. We're going to have some panel discussions and some social discussions. So I urge you, if you are on the Clubhouse app and you are under the sound of my voice, please go on and follow me, Cash Parrish, over there and join us. We want to have a great time. It's a new app. It is hot. It is a place where you can meet other entrepreneurs, other hustlers, other people doing what you're doing, have conversations and build relationships, because again, we're working from home. We're working in isolation in most part in a business because of the pandemic. We can't be in a commutable situation. So this is phenomenal. It's a networking mixer on steroids. And I'm not gonna overhype the application because they got fugazi in this. I mean, if you look, the devil is in all the details. So you have to look around and find your place and get in where you fit in. So Cash Parrish on the Clubhouse app. You can find me also on my particular website, the New Journey. You can find me on Co-Create digital.co. That is where I'm located at. Make sure you share this out to a friend. If you thought this broadcast was valuable, share it out. Put a comment under the bottom. I don't see the comments when I'm broadcasting live because I'm on multiple monitors streaming right now, but I will get back to you. Leave me a message and I will be glad to help you or talk to you or give you some advice or whatever the case may be. Last but not least, got schemes. Go and get it. Get it right now. It is on sale. I would love for you to have a copy about that. Have a copy and tell me all about that. I want to know your feedback, your impression. What do you think? Make that purchase. Make it today. If you have not subscribed to me, follow me right here. Co-Create Digital is the website. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Periscope will be leaving in March. So we're going to keep rocking out until they're all gone. I thank you for your time and attention. I hope that you have a happy New Year's. It's been a blast. 2020, we see you. Goodbye.